Glad to see you, beautiful people. It's time to get started with our next lesson. Let me share my screen with you so you know exactly what we're doing. Oh, there's a miss. Sorry about that. Where am I going? So here we go. Let's go to this. This is your assignment for today. Reading favorite mistakes, expressing reflective writing. So if you go to your team page, you'll go to your assignments and you'll click on this assignment for today. Okay, you have two resources. One by Jessie Ann Collins. It's a mistake that should last a lifetime. And you have Nobody's Perfect Song Lyrics. These are the two links that you're going to use today, okay? For the purpose of my lesson, I am going to, get that down. I am going to show you my expectation and what I need, okay? So you may have to cut and copy the text to put it in a Word document so that you can highlight, because I'm going to ask you to do two things. The first thing is I want you to use and I don't even know if it will let me do it actually. Okay, so I want you to highlight. So you're probably going to have to cut and paste. So let's just say, first of all, let's read the text. We're going to read the text, A Big Mistake. And what I want you to think about while we're reading the text is I want you to think about two things. And this is posted on your assignment page as well. So if you look back here, we're going to use a yellow highlighter to indicate where the author recalls the incident. Okay? The second thing that we're going to pay attention to while we read is shows where the author reflects on what the incident means to her today. Okay, so those are the two things that you're going to be looking for. Okay, so let's read the text. It's a very short text. This is just for my teaching purposes only, just my teaching purposes. You do not need to highlight this text. This is for me to demonstrate, okay? The two texts that you are going to highlight is in the resources that I just showed you, okay? So this is a big mistake, and I'm going to read aloud to you, sort of like teacher read aloud. So excuse me, I have to put on my glasses. It all started by me asking my parents to get me a new smartphone. They didn't want to give me a smartphone, but irritated by my continuous request, they agreed. Some days later, I got my Alcatel One Touch Mobile. I was overjoyed. After a few days, all my neighborhood friends have known that I had got a new phone as I carried it everywhere I went, but except school. It is restricted to bring phone in our school, but I wanted to show it to my friends also. After a long thought, I decided to take my phone secretly to school. I would only take it out at break to show it to my friends, I thought. I put my phone in my library book. Uh-oh, right here, I could probably, if it allows me, I could probably highlight this area right here. The problem, he recalls, or the author, because I don't know if it's male or female, the author is recalling secretly taking the phone to school even though it is restricted, okay? So I already highlighted my first part. And for this purpose, I don't see that I can do the color differentiation, but you'll be able to when you cut and paste it and put it on yours, okay? I would take it out and I'm gonna continue reading. I would only take it out at break to show it to my friends, I thought. I put my phone in my library book. Next day at school, I was all set. In the fourth period, my eagerness grew no bounds. It was our library period. I took my book and headed to the library. I kept my book near a pile of books so that no one would notice it. Suddenly, my friend Ravi called me from behind. He said that he wanted me to help him in classwork. I helped him and returned, and to my horror, my book was not there. I searched everywhere, but all my ways went in vain. I was so much scared about my phone that I didn't have food also. Now, this is probably not the best text because there's some grammar errors, but that's okay. After a long search, I found my book in the shelf with other books, but there was no sign of my phone. I can't complain to the teacher or I will have a scolding. I went back to class. The rest of the school went very uncomfortably. When I returned home, I narrated the whole incident to my mother. She first gave a stern look, then smiled and handed me my phone and said that she had taken it out of my book at night. She didn't scold me as hard as I had learned my lesson. We both laughed heartily. Now remember, in this text, I had two things I had to do. I am looking to determine where this author recalled the mistake and reflect on what the incident means today. So looking back at this, probably this author learned a lesson about taking their book to their phone to school, right? So I'm gonna say here, probably right about here, when I returned home, the author knew that he or she was gonna have to admit it to the parents, right? So I think right here to here, oops, excuse me. Oh, won't do it. I'm gonna highlight this area to here. I learned my lesson, okay? So here we have, this is the example, this is my expectation of what I want you to do on your two links that I gave you, okay? So again, you're gonna come back over here, click on your assignment, your task, you've got this long piece of text, it's actually only 4 pages, it's not very long and it's actually pretty interesting. A mistake that should last a lifetime. Again, with your yellow highlighter, you're going to highlight where the author recalls the incident. And then with the pink highlighter, you're going to highlight the reflection the author had on what the incident means today. Okay? So basically think about it as like a lesson learned kind of thing. Okay? Remember, if you have any questions, go ahead and just send me a quick question on your questions channel in your block. And then just let me know how you're doing, okay? Pretty easy assignment. Wanted to make it short because I know you guys are overwhelmed. Okay? So enjoy, and I will see you soon. Bye. Stop recording. Stop recording. Oh.